Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Team Building with Zooch, where I take a live guest and team build for a matchup with them, and then I go over the battle after and talk about how the game went, how the build did, and all of that stuff. So, without further ado, we have our guest today, Orange. What's going on, man?
Yo.
Yo, yo, yo. So, we got a matchup here. So, first of all, this is for, what, a league, I'm assuming?
It's for a PBO, Pokemon Battle Organization.
Okay.
Community league that I'm a part of.
This isn't Wi-Fi, right? This is just...
No.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Paldea decks, but you said no preview, right?
Yep, no preview.
No preview, and then this is the first one that we have certain Terra types dedicated to a couple Pokemon. So we'll talk about that stuff when we get to it. So, have you looked at this matchup at all, or not yet?
I have a little bit. So first thing I kind of noticed is the hazard removal is kind of not there. It's Sand Slash, and that's it.
That's it, right? Yeah.
I think Armory didn't keep defog.
Yeah, it's just Sand Slash. Yeah, looks like.
Yeah. So I kind of want a hazard stack because I have Hisui and Samurott and Leavanny and a bunch of good spikers and rockers.
Yeah, I like that strategy.
It's just like a viable strategy.
Yep, for sure. So I actually think there's one hazard that's better than the rest of them here. And it's actually Toxic Spikes, I think, because so they do have a grounded poison in Muck, but if you look at like Muck, right, compared to like your team, like
not good at all. Actually,
yeah, it doesn't really look too good. Yeah, so I don't really think it would come. And Toxic Spike is really, really good for something like a Mew that you have no idea what it's going to do and it doesn't recover anymore. And Keldeo looks pretty strong into your team at first glance, so I think Toxic Spike does look pretty good here. Obviously, it just wouldn't hit like the Zapdos or Skarmory, but that's not a really big deal. So I do think Toxic Spike is ideal here. You have two Toxic Spikers. I think one is probably a bit better than the other one, just because.
Much better, yeah.
You think? Which one do you think I'm talking about here?
I think you're talking about Quillfish. I hate Fortress with a Burning Passion, so like I kind of understand why I wouldn't want to use it here, to be honest. It just looks like, honestly, the Keldeo comes in for free. The Storm probably sets up on it, to be honest, but I don't Volt Switch.
Well, okay, so I was actually looking at Fortress here, but Quillfish works too.
Shit.
Because Fortress, it can certainly be used. One, it's a good like remover. They have a Ghost type, but if they don't bring it, spin is free, and if they do, like you said, you can run Volt Switch, and then you can go into something to take advantage of the Sableye. The other thing though too is if you just look at like a FizzDev Fortress, like it can be used for a couple of mons here. I do think actually out of the three Terra captains, I think two of them might actually come to this game. The reason why I say two is Sableye looks pretty good for something like Hands, right? It's a pretty good check into Hands with Encore and Will-O-Wisp, or like even Garchomp, it stops setup and can burn it or whatever. And then two, I think Sandslash, we just said can come for the reason that's the only remover. Plus, it can Terra into a Fairy type, and they don't have a Fairy type versus your Garchomp. So Terra Fairy Sandslash can certainly come here, I think. Otherwise, they're going to pretty much just rely on Skarmory to probably beat your Garchomp, which is not really ideal. It can beat it if it's just physical, but... so I do think there's a good chance actually two of them come. So Fortress is pretty good into a couple Pokemon here, mainly the Roaring Moon. I know Roaring Moon gets like Flamethrower and stuff, but it's probably not going to run Flamethrower just because it really needs... So if you look, it needs Stab, first of all, but it also Earthquake is very likely for these two guys right here. I do think if Roaring Moon comes...
It wants to hit Hands.
Yeah, Hands and Tinkaton too. Earthquake hits both. So I do think if Roaring Moon comes and it's like DD or something, I don't think it's going to fit fire coverage. It's probably just rely on like Knockoff and other Pokemon to kind of weaken Fortress if you bring it. But we could go between the two. Like we don't have to. If you like Quillfish better, we can run Quillfish.
I think you've sold me to Fortress. You've sold me because I'm like looking at like Zangoose right now. I'm looking at
it would be good for.
I just like the idea of being able to Volt Switch out with Quillfish doesn't get flip turn, so I'd like to keep momentum in this game if possible, so that way the Keldeo doesn't come in and absolutely shred me.
Yeah. So I think just initially, I think you'd run like a Toxic Spike, probably Gyro Ball, Rapid Spin, and then Volt Switch seems ideal here. Gyro Ball hits the two the Pokemon that you'd be scared of for it, like Mamo, Roaring Moon, and Zangoose. And then Volt Switch is, yeah, just for momentum, like you said, so you're not just set up fodder or whatever. So we could run with that on the team first. I think this is the first time where I put like kind of a defensive Pokemon on first, but it's good here.
With win condition, right?
No, yeah.
Well,
yeah. Normally it's a win. Yeah, normally it's a win condition, but yeah, I thought you said, "Is this the win condition?" Like,
no.
Yeah. So
no.
So here's the thing too. Like, I know we didn't really do any Pokemon yet, but I think this is, if we want to go with the Hazard Stack route, which I think is good. I think you certainly probably want to lead with this guy, and especially if you don't see Muck to get up the Toxic Spike initially. If you see Muck, maybe you don't lead with this thing then, because he can just absorb it and it's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
But because like this is a potential lead, I think we want to get Toxic Spike up under like no, like under every condition. I think you probably want to run Mental Herb as a lead here, just because there's certainly a lot of Pokemon that can lead that can certainly taunt you. And you know, if you lead Fortress and then you just get taunted right away, like you're gonna be behind right away, and that's not like ideal for this type of team. So, but we'll lead the item for now. Maybe we come up with a different lead that's better than the Toxic Spike, but I think at first glance either Mental Herb or probably just Rocky Helmet would be ideal on Fortress here. I don't really think you need Aqua Berry for anything, so, but we'll see. Aqua Berry could work for Fortress or for Zangoose Fire Punch, but does it get Fire Punch? I think it gets Fire Punch, right?
I think it does.
Yeah, it'd probably run Fire Punch. Yeah, because that's the only like normal resist. It'd probably run Fire Punch, and then if it gets something for Spectre, like a Dark move or something, or Shadow Claw or something like that.
Pretty sure it has Shadow Claw.
Yeah.
I'm really sure it has no. Yeah, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd probably run Knock then. Normal move, Fire move, if they do bring Zangoose. Anyways, so offensive Pokemon on your side. Really good Pokemon that sticks out right away. Don't really see any switches to it.
I can take a guess here. I'm gonna say Spectre.
Yeah, I see two actually, but Spectre was the one I'm talking about. Yeah, Spectre initially looks really good. Obviously, all you need is Shadow Ball, Draining Kiss. Draining Kiss is still going to do a good chunk to Zangoose, and Zangoose has no recovery. It's probably going to be Toxic, either through Toxic Spike or Toxic Orb. So that's not really a long-term, answer either. Plus, he doesn't have any Pokemon that can Terra into a Dark or Normal, besides Zangoose, which is already normal. So, yeah, Spectre looks pretty good here. It's always good when you only need 2 moves on a Pokemon like Spectre, because then you have a lot of options to run something else. You can run Plot, Taunt, you can run Psychic if you want to hit Keldeo/Muck a bit harder, because Muck would probably be there for Spectre if it comes, like a Spadef Muck or something. Keldeo is a big threat, like we said. But, there's a lot of moves you can run. I don't think you run Will-O-Wisp here. I don't think that makes a bunch of sense. I think Taunt makes a lot of sense for, like, Roost Zapdos or Roost Skarmory or, like, Haze Muck or something.
Yeah.
But last slot, it could be Plot, it could be Psychic. I don't think there's, like, a best 4th slot here. Sub, not really. Not a fan of Sub, just because, well, Sub could still work because, again, we have Taunt. If for Sub, we'd be Taunt, like Sub Taunt.
Yeah.
I initially was gonna say like.
I'm thinking of like Encore Sableye.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just not practical.
Yeah, because Sableye normally is not a switch into Spectre, right? It's gonna get blown back, but it can, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. The last slot is really, I think Psychic, Shadow Ball. Oh, I'm sorry, Shadow Ball. Psychic, Nasty Plot. Yeah,
I mean, it kind of depends on the role I want Spectre. I guess I can use it to break early and then clean later, or.
Yeah. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp doesn't really make a ton of sense, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, we could leave it. We'll leave it for now, but I think it's either Plot, Psychic, or maybe Substitute too. It could be one of those. You'd probably really only click Substitute though, like if you want to predict a switch or something, but that might be a bit risky with Spectre. So, but the EVs are pretty. Why does it do this? I think you just go up to Roaring Moon, like nothing crazy here. And then why is it doing this? Are we gonna get hit by a physical move or a special move here? Probably we might take a hit from like Zapdos if it comes in. maybe a Scarf Keldeo might hit us too with a special move. So we probably want more Spadef here, I would think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean,
Physical
maybe.
priority from Zangoose doesn't hit us anyway. Maybe I show from Mammothline, but like.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fine for us. It's not gonna do too much. And if like Roaring Moon is scarfed or whatever, then like it's gonna do a shitload to us anyway, so we can't really. So we probably want more Spadef. Let's just do that for now. Item. Any ideas on that item?
Just trying to think if there's any like specific damage rolls. I don't know. What do you call it? Not spooky plate. There's a different thing for that. But I'm like, do I want Colbur?
Yeah, Colbur is the first thing that popped to my.
Colbur, like Colbur for the roaring, like the bait the roaring moon, or for like the knockoff for like Mammothline or Sand Slash.
Yeah.
Or I guess Zangoose would be the thing.
Yeah, could also be could run boots if you're scared of getting sacked if you can't rapid spin. Could run leftovers.
It should be really safe. I'm leaning Colbur.
Colbur variant? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm leaning Colbur.
Colbur sounds good. Okay, we'll leave the last slot. Yeah. Okay, so one more. The other Pokemon I think is pretty good, like offensively, is Iron Hands actually. Like Iron Hand looks really, really strong here because all you need is Thunder Punch, Draining Punch, and then probably Play Rough just to do more to Moon. If you're Drain Punch, I don't think Drain Punch just OHKOs Moon if you're not, because usually on a hand set like you want to be like bulky, like pretty much like very defensive here. I think looks really good because then you can take anything from Moon, you can take anything from Mammothline and just get all the health back with Drain Punch. You could probably take a hit from Zangoose, but Play Rough with there just to, if Drain Punch doesn't OHKO Moon with like no investment, I don't think it does. We could check. Plus it does more to what's this thing? Sableye. So Sableye is really the only thing I think that's like stopping your hands from just like going crazy. But let's check.
I'm wondering if the Terra Fairy Sand Slash actually walls.
Well, we would have Thunder Punch too.
I guess we would, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much that does in general.
Yeah, we can check. That's another thing too. Like you said, Spike Stack is good. Hopefully, we're probably gonna run spikes on. I mean, maybe Garchomp. I don't know, but yeah, if that Sand Slash isn't boots, that's why Toxic Spikes would be really, really good for it too. Toxic Spikes and Spikes. But what was I checking? Drain Punch. Not close combat. Drain Punch. Let's say we're just no investment at all. Okay, so it still does a pretty good chunk though. And if we're playing, so if we're playing to where like we want to have like our spikes and toxic spikes up, honestly, we could probably get away with this and just to kill it because you know one toxic spike and one spike would put this in range pretty much already. You know, so. Yeah. I don't think we need to put any attack investment for that role. We might need it for something else, but I think we would definitely run on a handset. Ooh. On a handset, we would run. Do you like? I typically like Thunder Punch because I'm a safer clicker, but you could run Supercell Slam.
I'm also Thunder Punch. You could run the Super Slam twice, and that was it.
You can run Wild Charge, take some recoil, but yeah, you could run our Thunder Punch too if you like Thunder Punch. Drain Punch, and then we'll do Play Rough for now. Last slot I think would be Swords Dance, because I don't really, unless you want to run like Fake Out or something.
Yeah, I don't see a reason for Fake Out. I mean priority, but like Fake Out to break Storm Sturdy, but why?
That could work, or like Fake Out maybe if things are poisoned to get another round. But I think Swords Dance is better just because like I said,
mean, Swords Dance would help break, yeah.
The only reason why like I think Sword Dance is good here too though is because again like I said we're gonna be very bulky on this set. We're probably not gonna have much attack investment, so because we're gonna be so bulky, I think like we're gonna be able to live a lot of hits unless something like a Mammothline Earthquake is gonna hit us, like something super strong. So I think like being able to get the +2 and then just like live anything like means like we could just Drain Punch all the health back, you know. We can leave the last slot though for now. We're gonna definitely have to look at some calcs with this guy for the spread. But I think realistically either like you could run a Steel move maybe if you're scared of like Terra Fairy to do more to Sand Slash too, I suppose. That'd really be the only reason why you'd click a Steel move though versus this entire team. but I'm not too sure. Let's look at some calcs with this guy versus Moon. So I think what we want to do is we want to basically make it very like physically defensive to the point where like something like a booster +1 earthquake, like a booster DD earthquake for Moon doesn't kill Hands. I'm pretty sure we could do that because Hands is very defensive.
Yeah,
or
I
like
was going to suggest Shuckaberry if we could do the item. I don't know if you had different thoughts for the item, but I was like Shucka for Mammoth Swine, the Sand Slash for the Roaring Earthquake. It just looks like something that would be useful for us.
Yeah, I think
but
Shucka.
I guess we'd let Calcs determine that.
Yeah, I think Shucka is good. Shucka were probably just leftovers. Yeah, one of those two. Very basic item for this type of hand set. So let's say we want to check Earthquake. Let's say their booster attack. That's already in the calc. +1. Okay. So this is literally no defense right now, and it's still a roll already. So let's go ahead and... Do they have spikes on their team? They do have spikes.
Yeah. Skarmory. And they get Mew. I think Mew gets them.
And Sand Slash too.
Slash.
Jesus. Okay, so we do have spin, so there might not be up, but maybe we should make sure we can live after like maybe like a rock and 1 spike or something. So that would put us at what, like 82. So let's put enough defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so 130. Oh wait, no, 82. Wait.
What? Oh.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is right here. So this would mean we would never die to that combination. Let's check versus Mammoth Swine if we have this investment. Okay, so Mammoth Swine still would unfortunately 2-shot it if we're not Shuckaberry. It's like choice banded. Okay, so for this calc, I think we're going to want to put attack investment to where Drain Punch will kill after a Toxic Spike and a Spike. So they would be at 76, right? After 1 Poison and Spike.
Yeah, 12%, 6%.
So we want to make sure we do at least 76 of this guy. And then how much? What do you run bulk on Mammoth Swine here? Probably, actually. They don't probably need much speed.
Oh, right. My speed just dropped off right there. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, because the things like they could run a lot to make sure they outspeed like your Braviary, but they have Ice Shard too anyway. If you're not Terra, it's something else. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell what defensive investment they would have. We can leave this for now, like just 68 and 228, and see what else we come up with later. But yeah, it's just the Roaring Moon is if we take damage on Fortress early, which we probably will if it's the lead. You know, having this still alive would means like Roaring Moon can never just beat us, which is good. Let's see. So we have what, 212 left over?
Yeah, no nature, but
okay. Trying to think, is there any other calcs to look at with hands?
I don't believe so, unless we're looking to 2 a KO like the Sand Slash on Switch In or something, but or I guess maybe Mew on Switch In.
Well, that would
I'm
be
like
hard to
debating
make.
if we need speed for if we want to do speed for like Noon Speed Sand Slash or something. I think we should put a little bit for the Muck in case it decides to, I don't know, put 8 speed or something.
Yeah, I would do 8. Yeah, you're right. 8 sounds good to me. And then, yeah, I think that's okay for attack. I guess we could check how much Play Rough does to Sableye too, but we would have to like kill that on the switch because we would get burned if we just try to attack, which would suck. So we already, yeah, it's 2-shot range for max Fizz Def, so that's probably all we need.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if we need any more. Skarmory, it's a huge deal. We might want a little bit more if we don't 2-shot Skarmory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
How much do we have left over? 204. Yeah, see, the thing is the attack doesn't go up too much because we have such a high base attack stat. Like even if we go max, right? Like, it's not gonna.
So we're gonna need like Sword Dance to break through that.
Yeah.
Can't just tap it, you know?
Yeah, we'll put Sword Dance for now. And unless they're like Iron Defense too, which I don't know if they would be Iron Defense here. They could be, but I mean we have Spectre. So I don't know, they might be. But unless they're Iron Defense, then yeah, we will break past it. So we could do, we said Shuka or Leftovers. We could put Shuka.
Yeah, we said Shuka lefties.
Yeah, we'll do Shuka for now. And then we'll put the rest. Most will probably go into Spadef if I had to guess. Just to live maybe like a Keldeo hit or something.
Yeah, like 2 Zapdos range or something.
Yeah, but we'll finish like in those as we go on. So, all right, we said we want to kind of hazard stack them. So we have Garchomp, we have Samurott, and then we don't know the last slot. So I'm looking at Samurott here, and like yes, like Ceaseless Edge looks really good to get up the spikes. But there's 2 like pretty good switch-ins to Samurott I see on their team. Technically 3, but it's really 2. And that's these 2 guys, right? The birds.
Yeah.
Zap and Skarm. So Skarmer's the obvious one, but Zap too. So I know this set isn't really too popular, but I do think it's actually better here, especially because there's also a Keldeo, and that's actually special Samurott. Okay, so I'm thinking that
I was gonna say Air Slash.
Yeah, we would Air Slash for Keldeo, but I kind of want to just check real quick if we'll put Air Slash too. I want to check this real quick and see how much we're doing to Skarm if it's Fizz Def. Okay, so yeah, it does 2-shot, which is good. I know, like, because like if we're Surf Air Slash, we'd probably run Ice Beam too, just to hit the Zapdos and the Moon a bit harder, I think. Last shot would probably be priority, so that means we'd have to do spikes on Garchomp, which isn't like terrible. Because I do think like this type of set can certainly like catch the opponent off guard here. They might even go something like Sand Slash, you know, like a Fizz Def Sand Slash. Especially with Terra Fairy, they might even go that to spin away the, spike after the Ceaseless. So I do think just hitting one of these 3 with a hard Surf will probably 2-shot most of them. Maybe not Zapdos. But what I think is really good too is because, like we said, Keldeo is like really good into our team offensively. So I think if we run an item to catch the Keldeo off guard, which would be Choppleberry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then hit it with an Air Slash after. Let's check how much it does. Keldeo. We are not sharpness here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all we need is 1 hazard up and that thing will die to Surf into Air Slash. So, and Specs, we will live a Specs fighting move. This is worst case scenario, but we would live it. Not by a lot, but we would. And I do think, so they could certainly like flip turn maybe on an expected switch. But looking at our team, if we have Garchomp here, let's just say Garchomp is probably going to come, right? Like, we don't have a lot of fighting resist. It's just Spectre right now. So like it really is no downside for them, in my opinion, to just click the fighting move to kill what's in front of them, or like think they're going to kill us, or just get damage on a switch in, because like it would be kind of crazy for us to go Spectre on a Keldeo, right? We could, but they're probably going to think like fighting move is pretty safe into us. That's why I think there's a good chance that the Choppleberry lure does work here. And like I said, if they're not Specs, if they're anything but Specs, like we could take a couple of damage and we'll still live a hit before then. And like I said, they should die. Like Surf into Air Slash should kill them, especially if Toxic Spike is up. And if they Calm Mind, oops, that's the other way. If they Calm Mind, right, they would take probably like 20 from Surf, a round of Toxic, and then even if they Calm Mind as we Air Slash, like they're going to be insanely low to the point where probably our priority move will just kill it anyway, right? There's a pretty good priority move here, especially because we're special. I don't know if you see this.
Oh, Vacuum Wave.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think Vacuum Wave is pretty solid here. It could come into handy versus these 2 guys, and then maybe Zangoose too. Zangoose is probably going to be faster than us. I do think it's necessary for us to go like pretty much max speed though, to outspeed Mamoswine. I know we just said like Vacuum Wave could be a thing for it, but it's not going to do like that much damage to it. Like it's gonna do a good chunk, but it would really only be used to click versus Mamoswine if it's like Scarfed or something. We could check how much it does though. I'm curious. Vacuum wave. So about a third. That's not bad. Not bad damage. But if we're faster, you know, obviously we just kill it. So that's why I do think this is maybe not what would be timid like max speed to outspeed this, but I think we should at least, if we're gonna go modest, I think we should creep probably adamant Mamoswine. It doesn't make sense for them to be jolly in this matchup, right? Like they're gonna probably be adamant.
They have nothing to create. I mean, nothing realistic to create.
Right, they're just gonna be adamant, probably very bulky.
Probably braviary if that, and they're gonna get a so.
Right, so I think adamant mammal goes to like 259 or something. I don't know. That's a head cock on me, honestly.
Real quick.
I'm right here. Yeah, 259. So
yeah,
we'd go to 260, and then the rest would probably be
probably gonna get picked off by a quick attack or a quick attack from Zangoose. I'm thinking priority again, just unless it naturally outpace. But
Zangoose would probably just facade us and kill us because
it's gonna knock us out. I mean,
our asses would get blown back. It does look like we're probably it does look like we're probably gonna take a physical attack if anything though. Plus, if we put it in Fizz Def too, like the Sacred Sword does hit off of Fizz Def anyway, so that would help us with that too, for what it's worth. But because things like Zapdos, like they're probably gonna kill us anyway. Or I do think Choppleberry could also come into clutch versus like a Mew. Like I said, a Mew, I think it might have a fighting move if it's like DD or something. You know, you never know. So certainly look at what they bring. If they don't bring Keldeo for whatever reason, then sure, like maybe use Samurott to just dent the Mew or something, or just come into Mew. But yeah, I do like Vacuum Wave here. I think it's pretty solid. And then, like you said, I think we would just be the rest in defense. That's a pretty good set. We did say Garchomp's probably going to be Spikes here. How's Braviary? Braviary is one of my favorite Pokemon to use too, so I might just like it's pretty good here. I think your Braviary. You really only need Stab. I don't even think it's worth running like something like a Heat Wave because Skarmory doesn't do much to it.
Necessarily known for special defense.
Yeah,
it doesn't. What is it going to do? Brave Bird?
It doesn't do much. I think we could probably get away with Agility Roost here too. Is pretty good here. Agility would probably only let you outspeed like everything, like if they're not boosting, just because Variable is pretty slow.
For booster.
Yeah, but if Moon is booster or Keldeo Scarf, yes, it'll definitely outspeed. But we could probably make, if we do, well, do you think Braviary looks good here yourself? I don't want to just kind of throw it on.
I'm unfamiliar with what the calcs will look like into Zapdos.
Zapdos,
other than that, I don't see a flying resist bar storm, which you said, we're going to blow that thing back.
Yeah, so Zapdos is the one Pokemon I think that might kind of not let you just straight up agility and just kill everything. But we would probably just run Psychic, so, and because we do have Spin, I kind of like just going the whole Life Orb Sheer Force just to get as much power as possible. So let's just say if we're agility, we will be modest, obviously. Let's just look at how much we're doing to everything. Hurricane and Psychic.
I do want to see these balance here.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Zapdos.
Wow.
Yeah, so Zapdos takes a lot. Would it be would it be Spidef here or Fizdef? It might be Fizdef for Chomp / Samurott. Yeah.
Talonflame maybe. Yeah, I can see it being physically defensive.
Yeah, so if it is Fizdef, like, we don't need much chip to kill this thing. Plus, we didn't even look at the Terra types. We can go flying just to get even more power, but I think Fairy is probably just better as a defensive typing, even though we're not running a Fairy move. Because then it means things like Zapdos, who can live a hit, or something like Mew that can live a hit, it's probably not going to be able to kill you back anyway, Even like Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon actually has pretty good Spidef, believe it or not. So, yeah, Hurricane, I mean, after a hazard, it probably will kill it, yeah. But that is a Pokemon that might be able to live a hit too. But if we're Fairy, it's not going to be able to.
I am a little worried about missing, but that kind of comes with the territory, honestly.
Yeah, I mean we want full power with this type of guy. This would probably be our win condition. I mean, I don't even say it yet, but this type of set would be the win condition set. But yeah, we're gonna look. we can look at everything right now and kind of see how much chip we need on stuff. So we would be agility, which means we probably only want speed again to outspeed Moon without a booster. So that would be 186 like that. And then the rest would be into a defense. So let's check though how much. Okay, so let's check. So Roaring Moon. Again, we're going into this game plan. Hopefully, at the very least, at least have like one spike up, like just one regular spike. But if we can get a toxic spike plus a spike up, then that's gonna help a lot of things. So, and let's say we're Terra Fairy too. Okay. All right. So let's check Zapdos calc versus us. Also, I do think we didn't go over it yet as like the remaining EVs, but because Zapdos or because a Mew is something that's likely to live our hit, or even like if Keldeo is Scarfed, I do think putting the rest in Spadef is actually the best here, but we don't have to do that right now. Okay, so if we're Terra Fairy and they're defensive, right? The only move that does over half to us is Hurricane, so they would have to hit. And the thing that would probably worry us more though is like a Discharge or slash Thunderwave para. Again, you know, all they need is a little bit of chip and they will be in range, but that is something that would probably scare us more than their actual attacks. I do think if we look at their team, they probably only need Hurricane plus electric move, because that literally hits everything. Roost, and then it could be Thunderwave, it could be a momentum move. We don't really know what they're gonna do. It could be it might be sub if they're like offensive. Like offensive doesn't look too bad here, right? Like Hurricane or Hurricane plus T-Bolt. Like
T-Bolt, Hurricane, Agility. I would say Agility or something.
Yeah, maybe even like that. Yeah. So, but I mean, that's probably better for us, like I said, if they're offensive for our Braviary. So, but looking at Zapdos offensively, it does look like we're probably gonna have to make Chomp Spadef with spikes or something. I think that makes the most sense, just so we don't auto pick one to to Zapdos. But yeah, let's go back to looking at their team. So Mew is the other Pokemon. Zapdos and Mew are probably the two Pokemon that can not just fall over. But even Mew max HP, if there's a couple hazards up, like it's gonna drop to Hurricane. So that's pretty good. Keldeo's gonna die. We could check Skarmory, but like we said, we don't think Skarmory's gonna do too much. And yeah, I mean they can't just roost on us, like we do way too much to them. Even if they're, let's say they're max Spadef. All that we really take is one confusion. And again, even if like we don't like, they're gonna, first of all, like there's only 8 roosts obviously, so they can't just do it forever. What is Hurricane? I think 16, right? PP. But again, they don't really do anything to us anyway. So even if we're Fairy, like what are they? Let's check Iron Head. I suppose that'd be like the worst case scenario if they have Iron Head. I don't think they're gonna have Iron Head. That would do a good chunk to us. But again, that means they're not roosting, so they would just die to 2. We could even, like, if they're trying to spam roosting and get us to miss, we can even Psychic one time too. That's not a big deal. So, but yeah, I don't know if they run Iron Head here. If they do, that's like the one thing though. Mamoswine's probably gonna die to a Hurricane. Yeah, it'll for sure die unless it's like Assault Vest or something crazy. Zangoose would definitely die. Let's check Sandslash. It's like Fizdef.
I think we kill Sandslash.
I do too.
Maybe unless it's Assault Vest. I don't know, but oh my, no.
Yeah, Assault Vest max HP has like a chance. Yeah, sure. Muck. We have Psychic. Yeah, we have Psychic. Muck.
Muck we have Psychic for.
It would need to be like Spadef, but even after a spike, it dies pretty much. So that's not really a switch in. Sableye will die. Typhlosion should die, right? Like, yeah. So it's really just Zapdos is the main one, and then again Skarmory maybe, but again we're not really into threat versus Skarmory. I doubt they're gonna think of, I could use Skarmory for like a Terra Fairy Braviary. Like doesn't really make sense. Plus we could have Heat Wave, so like that's not.
Yeah, it literally becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, it would just blow it away. So, but yeah, I do like Roost here. Roost is, so if we are Terra Fairy, I do like Roost just because if we probably throw the rest in Spadef, we can Roost on things like Zapdos, so it can't just beat us down. If it's like a defensive Zapdos, right? If we have, what is it, 176, like we can technically Roost on Zapdos, so, and then we could just Psychic it down or whatever, because again we're Fairy type, so it's not going to do too much. What else can we Roost on? We could probably Roost on a Keldeo if we want. We'd probably just kill it though. Like, it doesn't make sense not to just kill it. But
Yeah.
yeah, we would kill it. Actually, it doesn't make sense. We wouldn't roost on that guy.
And there's no other like relevant special. I guess mute maybe if it lacks anything to punish us, but
yeah,
that's kind of the reach.
It could be an option, yeah. Or like if we just want like toxic to kind of whittle something down a little bit, we could do that too if they're poisoned. So I don't know. I don't really think the only other move over like Roost maybe would be like. I mean, we can run like Calm Mind or something, but that might be overkill.
Yeah, kind of unnecessary because I don't think we're getting 2 setup turns if the opponent responds.
Yeah.
Like with Zapdos or with some sort of Scarfer.
We could do Esper Wing, like if we want to just kill something and get 1 speed boost, but they're still going to have things that are faster.
I was thinking about that, and then that means we give up Sheer Force, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we don't get the speed boost. Never mind. Nope, screw that. Yeah.
Maybe like Air Slash for accuracy purposes. Like,
yeah, you're scared of missing, huh?
I am very scared of missing. I've already had to do the Mono Braviary, the Mono Hurricane Braviary once, and
so it could be Air Slash. If we're gonna go with another attack, yeah, I mean it'd probably be Air Slash. We could do like Terra Blast to make sure we kill the moon in one if we want.
Yeah, because that's something that might be able to just body us with.
Yeah, it was like it would need
Ironhead. I don't need
Ironhead would probably be there in case it's like balloon. Well, no, even if it's balloon Tinka, we would get knocked first though, and then Earthquake.
Right, and then Terra Fairy Appleton. No.
No. Yeah. I don't know. It's probably not gonna have. Yeah. I don't really see like a better move. Vacuum Wave. I mean, we could run Vacuum Wave if you want. If you don't want Roost.
I mean, it sounds like Roost has more purpose right now.
Yeah.
Vacuum Wave. It sounds like you've sold more on Roost than Vacuum Wave at this point, just because we've actually seen there is a scenario where we want to use it. But
let's see. You can only use Vacuum Wave for this guy.
Yeah.
And maybe like to.
Which I'd rather risk Hurricane at that point.
Yeah, or to go faster than like a Shard or something. Yeah, no, I think Roost is better. Again, it gives you kind of something too that might be able to just. If it's like a sub Zapdos or something, like you could probably come in and not on an attack in case like you're not terrored or something, but safely, like if you were with Roost, you can probably outdeal the Zapdos.
I was going to say Psychic Noise or something if we got it. I don't think we do.
I think it does. Yeah, it does. For 2 turns.
You would like sub Zapdos, like oh. But why would that happen? That's not a sequence that would happen. I'm not going into Braviary subbing Zapdos. That's just not a good idea.
Yeah, so the only reason why I say that, like let's say they bring in Zapdos, right, and you have a low Fortress or you have a low Samurott or something that's not going to do much for the rest of the game, then you go to sack it, right? So you sub on the sack it, then they kill you. You could bring in Braviary like safely, and then Terra Fairy, and then you can use that to beat the Zapdos behind a sub. Because if the Zapdos is behind a sub, what are you going to go into to kind of deal with it? You're going to have to take a big hit on
something else. Is going to have to take a massive hit.
Yeah, so probably would be Chomp or Braviary, one of the two. So that's why, again, that's not ideal, but I do think Roost could come into handy versus like a Zapdos. So, but I do think this set overall looks pretty good. I don't think we need the Hurricane, like Terra Hurricane, like boost to do even more. It would only help us kill like Moon in one. But again, if we just have 1 or 2 hazards up, Moon's gonna die anyway. So I don't think that's a big deal. I think the Fairy typing is certainly ideal here for Zapdos, or even Moon too. So looks pretty good. Let's see what else we got. So we still have to finish these guys, and then Chomp. I think we definitely want spikes. We said.
Spikes. Yep, definitely want spikes. Those are essential to the game plan.
Yeah, so I do think this is going to be obviously more bulky Chomp. Probably Spadef. It could help with Mew. It could help with Zapdos. I guess Typhlosion if it comes. Maybe a Rough Skin. I think a good set, because again we're going with Hazard Stack 2, is Dragon Tail, because they don't have a Fairy, right?
Yep. There's no Fairy. We can just force them to switch out all around hazards if they don't bring boots or anything. It's an immediate punish.
Yep, that's really, really good. So we could be Spadef here. Do you want to be like... We could be Rest Hog. We could just be Earthquake Stone Age. We could have a fire move or Skarmory if we want. We can run a steel move if you're scared of fairies.
I'm a sucker for Rest Talk. That might be my Gen A self talking, but I am a sucker for Rest Talk.
I mean, I like Rest Hog too. And the only thing with Rest Hog is you're just sub fodder, but
yeah, that's kind of the problem.
Okay, so what's gonna run sub here on their team? Maybe Keldeo.
Yeah.
Sub Keldeo would be
is what I'm worried about. Like if I don't think I can probably EV Dragon Tail to break a sub if that becomes necessary, but
let's see. That's Fizdef. Yeah, so it would have to not be Fizdef, and then we could have run like a little bit to make sure
we
we
need
break
a move for that probably.
Yeah, or just a dragon move, like a stronger dragon move.
Strong enough to break sub, honestly.
Can we get away with Dragon Claw? If it's Fizdef. If it's like fully okay. Fully Fizdef sub would be kind of crazy. I guess it can happen. We could just rock with ground move and then dragon move. Or we don't really need a ground move actually. We could just shoot dragon move. Dragon move, and then we could do rocks also if you want, or we can do a move to cover for Terra Fairy Sandslash, so we're not just a free switching every time. Or
I'm considering Fire Blast so we can actually hit the Scar and then break a balloon on Sandslash if it becomes necessary. But I'm also wondering if that's worth it.
So if they bring in Skarmory, is that like a problem for our team?
I'm gonna say no, because now that I look at it, you're right, Fortress is gonna Volt on it, Spectre doesn't care, Hands is gonna Swords and Fast unless it's Iron Defense, in which case we don't care. Samurai probably does enough damage to it because we're special. Braviary is gonna actually Agility on it, so we don't care.
Yeah. And that's a scenario too.
The Scar would only come in on the Garchomp, and even then, it's going to spike stack me back. I mean, and even then we have Rapid Spin. So like,
Fortress. Yeah, and then you could slow vote switch too, so then you can come into something safely.
Yeah.
So if we don't really care about Skarmory, then we don't need a fire move on Garchomp for it.
That's true.
We can certainly go Dragon Claw though, just so nothing can sub on us. Can't type like Keldeo or Zapdos or something, or Mew even, I guess. Last slot. So yeah, I think last slot's either Steel move, Stealth Rock, or just Earthquake for a harder hitting move.
I'm just trying. Like, why would I ever click Rocks?
I would probably just click Rocks if like Skarmory comes in. Okay, just get up your Rocks too. Especially if they don't have Sandslash, like if they have no way to remove them.
Yeah, because like I said, I would never value a second layer spike.
Yeah.
I don't know, one layer up.
You could also just Dragon Tail the Skarmory out if you want.
That's true. I'm worried about like taking Helmet and just taking damage for no reason, but
yeah, we would probably run lefties on this type of set. Either lefties or Helmet ourselves. One of the two.
Lefties. I was thinking it's like Citrus. I don't know why, but
so I had this conversation with someone else. I forget. I think it was Toast, the first guy. When you like kind of decide if you want Citrus or leftovers, you have to think about like how many turns like the Pokemon you think is going to be in onto the field before it like dies. And in this situation where like we're throwing this in versus things like Skarmory or Zapdos or I don't know, maybe even like Muck if they come or something, I think because we're going to get multiple Psych Steps and we're going to try to Dragon Tail things around, I think Garchomp's going to probably be on the field for a long time. Unless you just, die to a Dragon move or Ice Beam from you or something.
We'll get more value out of the leftovers.
Yeah, because you're not going to come in and die in like 2 or 3 turns. Or hopefully not, at least. That's not the... That wouldn't be ideal. So that's why I do think leftovers is a bit better here. But yeah, last slot, man. Like I said, I don't really know if there's like a best move here.
Last slot. I mean,
you can run like what are they gonna switch into Garchomp? Skarm.
I mean, Skarm maybe like physically defensive Sandslash. and then Zapdos.
Yeah. But we can literally just drag and tell those guys and get other things we can.
Where's Toxic when you need it?
I know, right? Do they have screens? Can we break?
They have screens on Sableye, which I think they've done before.
Well, we can't break that thing anyway, so.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, if you want to just be safe, because our whole game plan is like relied upon on spike stacking, we can run Iron Head. I think is probably better, just in case it is Terra Fairy on Sandslash. And then if we bring in Garchomp on the Sandslash and they try to spin, like, they're gonna be taking chip anyway. Plus, if they're not boots, like, they're gonna be poisoned, ideally at least. So we can come in and then we can just safely either Iron Head to threaten them out, or we can just spike again. They might be Terra Fairy with Balloon, so they wouldn't take the stuff until you break that. That's why I think.
True. So it should be a move to hit that Sandslash.
Yeah. They might just Terra normal this Angoose, let's say, and just because Facade obviously is gonna shit on like everything besides like Fortress. So, plus Spectre won't kill this Angoose obviously in one hit either, so that could definitely be troubling. But we do have pretty bulky Pokemon here, so I don't think we're just gonna drop to that. So I do like Iron Head here. It is very safe, honestly. You're predicting one Pokemon to come and a Terra type, so, but I don't really think we need anything else per se. We could also just run like just any special move. Like Flamethrower would still be okay too, because it would like break a balloon, but then like we just wouldn't be able to hit it too hard. The Sandslash. I mean, Flamethrower might still do it a good chunk if you want to hit the Scarm too.
Okay, it's not necessarily known for its special defense, but I don't know. Yeah, it'll do anything meaningful.
Let's say it's like Bizdef, Garchomp, Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Not too much, yeah.
And Earthquake is literally doing more max HP, so I mean.
Yeah. I mean, again, hopefully, like, it's ideal that they take spikes. If they're a balloon though, they can spin, and then we would have to reset them now, which would kind of be annoying. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's up to you. I think if we do have Iron Head and they bring it in, like, we just definitely take our damage on that guy. Like, how much does Iron Head do if they're Terra Fairy? It's a good chunk. They might be fully Fizdef though too as well, so it would be less. But I mean, unless they're Terra Blast, like, they're not gonna do it much to us either.
It looks like Earthquake is doing around the same, but we probably want Iron Head for the balloon.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm scared, because balloon, like I said, is very likely too, because they can get spike stack. So we'll run Iron Head just to be safe. I know it's might be crazy, but I definitely think we want to be Svidef here though for Zap. This is going to be probably our initial Zap switch in. And then this we might be able to hit from Keldeo. Mew Ice Beam too. They probably won't OHKO us if we're Svidef.
Oh, that's true.
We'll check. Because it probably will. Mew might be DD here though, and just kind of run like Ice Punch or something. Yeah, so if we're just max HP, Ice Beam's not gonna. Actually, if it's modest, yeah, it will. We'll be Svidef though. I actually think we'll probably be max Svidef. What speed do we want to go to here though?
Would depend on how many EVs we have left. So
I think speed is important.
There's no point in creeping down now. Let's go Sharks.
Yeah. Zangoose is gonna have speed. Typhlosion's gonna have speed.
Yeah.
We can't really creep Mew, or else we'd have to be like max.
Yeah.
Mew is
gonna go like mid speed Mew, or that would be too much.
Yeah, we're fast.
We already
yeah.
That. Yep.
Yeah, we could put like 8 in case they try to creep us or something, but I think if we're bulky, we're gonna be just like max Svidef here. Yeah, just max Svidef like this. For leftovers, this would be HP
16
number.
plus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so this would be like 16 perfectly. Some people do +1. Some people just do it perfectly. I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong.
Like a massive difference, yeah.
I usually do it perfectly, but if you want to do +1 or -1, we could do that too. It's not going to be a big deal.
Honestly, either one works.
Okay, we'll do +1. Screw it. And then screw it. We'll go on attack. Why not? So that's pretty good. So again, lead to get up our Toxic Spike if there's no Muck. If there's a Muck, we probably don't lead with that guy. Especially, and if there's no Sand Slash, oh my god, like this game should be pretty easy.
If there's no Sand Slash, this game is dropped.
It should be, yeah. Okay, this is our win condition. Hands, Rashuka. Just like I said, just be careful when setting up swords. And it's like most of the time it's probably gonna be better just to attack with this type of guy because they just don't really switch in. The things that they'll switch into, which will probably be like Mew or something, they don't have recovery no more. So you're always gonna make some progress even if you just attack. Swords Dance would only be for like breaking past something that you otherwise can't. Plus, if there's a Sableye too, like that is probably going to be the switch into this guy. There really shouldn't be anything else. So you could just Thunder Punch to predict it to maybe get a para or play rough it, and then you just force a recovery at least, and then you can go into something else like
force a recovery, go into Samurai in case he decides to be aggressive and click Wisp for whatever reason.
Yeah, you just go Samurai. Then if it's Fizz Def, like Surf is probably going to do over half, so then you could just click Surf for free or whatever. So, or you can even Spectre might be a little bit risky because I mean it can knock off like Sure Sableye, but you're off Cold Burst, so you could do that too if you want to be aggressive. So you have a lot of like pretty good breakers here. Like these three guys can pretty much break through everything. And then this is your like setup Pokemon. This could also be set up, like we said, we might be plot, but realistically, like just clicking buttons with Shadow Ball is pretty good here. So we left this slot. I do think so. It was pretty much between I think Plot and Psychic. I think were like the two. Was there one other one?
Psychic.
Plot, Psychic. I don't think. Oh, and maybe
not really much else to choose from.
Yeah, maybe Substitute, but Sub is probably not going to be the player. So Psychic again. Do we feel like our team is? Yeah, our team is certainly like Keldeo weak. We could check how much more it does actually too. That's probably a good idea.
Right.
Versus Keldeo. And again versus Muck too. It would help. Okay, so yeah, it does about 25% more, 25 to 30% more. How much bulk would they have? Keldeo's probably gonna speed creep Chomp if I had to guess. Just so they're not gonna have too much. They might have like 60 or something like that. So, Psychic could definitely just like Oko it, or like, you know, after like a couple poison, put it in range. Especially, or like if we get a boost, like from just killing something else, it'll die. And then Muck too, we can check. Spit Death, Muck. It still wouldn't two-shot if there's a spike up, is what I'm looking at. But I mean, this would.
I'm like debating if Nasty Plot's the play because I plot, or if I can get plot off, I might kill me.
With Shadow Ball?
Shadow Ball instead of just picking wrong?
Yeah, you would certainly, especially if there's like a spike up too. So I'm trying to think, what would you plot on? It would probably have to be like
Zapdos and get lucky. I mean, the Mew that lacks anything to punish that.
Yeah, Zapdos would be a bit tricky because you can get paralyzed, which would suck.
Yeah,
or he can just like Volt Switch or something into something faster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like something has to be Scarf here, or like the priority has to be. Really
it's got to be.
My opponent's not gonna let Spectre run unpunished.
Would Mamoswine be Scarfed here?
Like Scarf Adamant, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think there's really a good move that I can lock into here.
Like Earthquake is kind of awkward. Ice move is kind of okay-ish if you want to ignore Samurai and Fortress.
Yeah, Earthquake isn't bad versus the team we have.
Like knockoff maybe, but even then that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think realistically probably Keldeo would be the Scarf. DD Mew is also, I forgot to kind of look at that. That seems like it's. I mean, again, that's again another reason why I think just Toxic Spike is really good because that does help you deal with Mew.
I'm wondering if it's like Boots DD.
Yeah, Boots DD is a bit scary. Again, you probably do live. Let's check actually. Yeah, Mew is scary. Let's check. Where's Dragon Dance? Double Dance? Nope. Okay. Um, let's see, what coverage would it run versus you? So definitely need Psychic Fangs, probably Earthquake. Psychic Fangs, Earthquake, knockoff, maybe? Let's check +1 Psychic Fangs versus your Braviary. Okay, what am I missing? The IVs.
If we go that far.
Yeah, so you do still live, at least. Even if Rockstrap, there's a pretty good chance. So I don't think... If he's holding Mew like in the back for a little bit, then yeah, it's probably going to be some sort of setup Pokemon. So you would probably need to keep... But even like something like Spectre 2 probably lives. Especially if it's knockoff, because you have Colbur.
Colbur, yeah.
Yeah. Psychic Fangs is a shitload though.
Ah.
Maybe not actually. Yeah, because if they get one hazard up, you're probably gonna die. How about Garchomp? 240. He would Psychic Fangs knockoff. He can certainly have like triple Axle or something, I think, to hit Garchomp.
Yeah.
But we said they might need Earthquake too. They definitely need Earthquake because Psychic Tinkaton just blocks that.
Right, and he needs something for Quillfish.
Yeah, so it's certainly gonna have Earthquake. Psychic, Earthquake.
Psychic, Earthquake.
It's probably gonna like if they need something for Braviary, then Pre-Terra.
Right, that would be.
That's why I think probably knockoff.
No.
It could be Axel too because it does hit these two guys, but then they don't hit like Spectre. I mean, Psychic Fangs hit Spectre, so yeah, it could be Axel as your last slot. Psychic Fangs, Earthquake, Axel.
Dragon Dance, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely need to like fit coverage. They can't hit everything, so you know, that's something like maybe you want to keep like your Iron Hands, for example, because like I know it could have Psychic Fangs, but Iron Hand
probably lives one, honestly.
Yeah. Why are there so many Iron Hand sets? Holy shit.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean we don't have any HP.
Only 69%.
Yeah, so we don't obviously do a ton to it back, but again, it's just if it's toxic or something, you know, like that's something that can live a hit too. That's obviously not ideal because we don't do a ton to it back, but yeah, that's probably the biggest threat to this team is like a DD Mew, I think. But as long as you have your Braviary, maybe they bring it in like it's later in the game and like you don't know what their set's gonna be. Like it might be like ideal just to go hard Braviary, which would kind of be crazy, you might think, but you need to guard against like double DD. Like if you go into something else to kind of sock it and they DD, like they could just DD again, you know. So
and that's just an automatic loss.
Yes.
Honestly, at that point.
So you need to kind of think about what plays you need to make sure you don't just lose. We can put this in defense if you want instead too. That'll probably help us a little bit. Spectre.
Would definitely help us against this particular set.
Yeah. So after rocks or a spike, you would still actually live everything, unless they're a boosting item. So we could do that instead if you want to help a little bit.
That works.
Yeah. Your team is also like pretty like. Also, you got to think of like what are they gonna set up the DD on, right? Like they can't do it.
I have Dragon Tail here. I can just kill with Braviary. Samurai's gonna murder it.
Samurai should do a good chunk. He's not gonna murder it because it's not too strong.
Oh, I forgot we have Ceaseless.
Yeah, let's see.
I'd kill both with Ceaseless.
So it'll still do like around 40.
40-ish. I mean, I start twice.
We could, if you wanna take off Vacuum Wave, you could run an Encore here to guard against it. You'd probably be slower. Actually, that's a bit tricky because you don't know if you're gonna be because we have a lot of speed.
Right.
If it's DD, it might be like bulky, and you might be actually faster, and you Encore nothing. So that's a bit tricky.
That would be really rough. Yeah.
You do Taunt maybe if you want Taunt. So if you're faster, you stop it, or if you're not, at least you stop it to 1. So I'm trying to think. We just kind of want everything to not let it be set up fodder. Knock off. Yeah.
I don't think better.
Do you wanna? I mean, there's chilling water. Chilling water actually would be pretty funny. The only way chilling water wouldn't work is if it's like sword stance, but then it's not boosting its speed. So
yeah, it's not boosting speed. We can revenge that easily.
You could run chilling water. It wouldn't. This wouldn't protect you against. Does it still have like agility, nasty plot? You know, I think.
I think it does. I think it has agility. I can look.
Yeah, you could check real quick. But again, that means it only have.
It has agility and it has plot.
So it would have to be like psychic earth power maybe. But that's just wall by braviary. Yeah, I don't know. I think chilling water actually isn't bad. You could just spam chilling water until you die, so at least you can't like boost, and then Spectre can revenge.
Yeah, that would stop me from just losing right out of the gate, which would be nice.
Yeah. Does chilling water? I'm sure chilling water breaks the sub because we're special. I hope. Actually, I don't even know. Chilling water. Actually, not all the time. I don't know if they would sub versus this guy, but they might. So Encore seems like it'd probably be best. It's just tricky, whereas chilling water does prevent the +1. It doesn't. It doesn't drop the attack though if they're behind a sub, right? I don't think.
I don't think it does. No.
Yeah. What you could do is you can chilling water first, and worst case scenario, if they're like, first of all, again, if they're sub and then they're set up like they don't have all the coverage moves, but if what you could do is if they sub, they are faster and you don't break it, you can surf to break it the first time as they probably set up a DD or set up something, and then you can probably chilling water because then you're gonna show that like you can break this up anyway with surf.
There's no point subbing again because I'm just gonna surf, but I have chilling water so that way they kill me, and
yeah,
I can just chilling water lowest attack and knock me out. And then...
Yeah, I really doubt it's gonna be sub though, or at least sub and then set up. It might be sub to your attacks because again they can't fit all the moves. So, but we could run chilling water. Chilling water Encore is probably two best moves as the last slot here. The guard versus that guy. It's up to you though.
I'm a fan of chilling water, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we're gonna be sharpness. Oh man, forget about that. For that air slash. Okay, that's fine. I'm also trying to think like, how are you gonna get this Samurott in? Like, what are you gonna switch it in versus? You could probably just throw it in versus something like a Sand Slash or something like a Mammo Swine. Yeah, you might take a big Earthquake, but at least you kill it after. So, and again, if you get it in,
yeah, I'm not really seeing how we switch. Like, this is a good point. I don't know where we switch it in. I mean, maybe if I'm being aggressive, I can switch it on Sableye or Mew. Like,
yeah, that too. Mew,
yeah.
Mew might be a bit tough, but Sableye too. I forgot about that guy. You can definitely switch it in versus Sableye. You might lose your Chopple Berry, which sucks for the Keldeo, but if they knock off, and definitely the 2 grounds, yeah, I think is ideal, for sure. And hopefully, like again, you can catch one of the birds. Most likely, probably Skarmory if they have it on a surf and just 2-shot it. If they don't have Skarmory, it's got to be obviously Zapdos or Keldeo as the switch. So Keldeo would obviously still work for you if you have your Chopple. Zapdos might be interesting if you surf it. Like you have a lot of speed, so you can definitely be faster. But they could also make their Zapdos just faster than Samurott to make sure they're faster. You know. So it might be tough to tell like if you're gonna be faster. If you surf it, let's say it's like this spread, like I don't know if it's worth risking just dying to an electric move. You might want to just go Garchomp first, maybe, just to see.
Right. When I have a full health Garchomp, there's no reason to risk.
Yeah, and then you can get a.
I'm like, oh, I probably outspeed it, nice and quick, you know. Surf.
Yeah. Sugar Berry is good.
Lose my Samurott there.
Yeah, exactly. So, Sugar Berry can also help versus. Well, nah, Mew would just Psychic move you actually, but yeah, it's for those 2 grounds and Roaring Moon. So that's good. So what's your call on this? Psychic or plot?
My call is plot.
All right, let's go plots.
I think
Screw it.
yeah, plot.
I'm going for plot. Okay, and then last item. Like I said, I think mental herb makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, mental herb, I still have that on there.
Okay, we'll go
Because
mental.
if no G-Spike go up, then white G-Spike go up.
Yeah, so that's good. Spin is good. Volt switch is good. Jar ball I think is solid.
Okay.
Oh, we need to finish.
We had EVs on hands, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Left for EVs
204.
there.
Okay. Okay. Let's check versus Mew real quick again. Let's just import this whole team, so I gotta keep doing it. Okay. Just check versus Mew and hands. Okay. So okay, so I don't think any sort of EVs are gonna help us here versus Mew, unfortunately.
Right. Not nearly enough attacking investments going to make us do a KO or anything.
Yeah. Keldeo. That does a shitload with Hydro Pump. I did say we're probably gonna throw the whatever remainder we have in Spadef, but I'm trying to see if we need like attack and anything else.
Yeah.
We could make it so Thunder Punch kills after a rock, and wait, we don't have rocks, right?
Yeah, we spikes.
Spikes. Okay, so it'd be a spike and a poison. It would kill actually already from here, so we don't gotta worry about that. Zangoose probably just dies, right? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
We checked the Roaring Moon calc. Oh, what about Zapdos?
Yeah, Zapdos.
That's actually kind of crazy. It does nothing.
Enough to where it breaks a sub, maybe, or...
Yeah.
I guess that plus we get to it. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Enough to break a sub is good, though. Damn. 116. Like I said, because we have so much... We could do that, though. Just to be safe. Because we have so much...
I mean, we have nowhere else to put it.
Yeah. But I think that's... actually, let's check Mamoswine, too. Let me check that guy. So now we actually kill it. Yeah, again, after a spike and after a toxic spike, it should die.
And we'll get most of our health somehow back with Drain Punches as well. So even if the shotgun gets popped, I just get that back.
Yeah. Let's see, well, we said 2-shot, right? Yeah. Okay, I think the rest is fine. Just to throw it in Spadef. It helped us.
Help us with 2
Zapdos and Keldeo too.
Yeah. Max physically defensive one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I didn't put it on the calc. 156. Okay. Yeah, we do live 2. And then how about Keldeo Hydro Pump? Can we live one of those specs? Yeah, we certainly can. So that'd be good too, just to Thunder Punch it. Probably kill it after the hazards. So yeah, I think this is good. This is good. Chuka is good. And that's about it. So I think that's it, man. I know it's like a weird team. Like, it's just like you would think like versus a team with no fairy, like you'd want like offensive chomp here, but I just think our whole game plan of just hazard stacking and then having Spectre hands and Braviary kind of put in work. It's ideal here. I don't think he's going to expect a lot of these sets either, so that could also help us. And yeah, if they have Sand Slash, like, and we get a Toxic Spike up and they spin, like, again, it's not the end of the world. We could probably just go right back into, you know, Fortress and reset them, because like Sand Slash doesn't really throw.
There's no one who said that this is one and done. I think we can switch around. If I have to play aggressive, I can.
Yeah, or like if you like fully expect a spin to come, like if you have a lot of spikes up and a
like, honestly, if that Sand Slash comes in, I'm so tempted to just go hard spec because
I wouldn't do that like first, but if you have a lot of spikes,
because Fortress can still be alive at that point, but
yeah, and you don't want to take like just a big earthquake or something, but if it is in your benefit to like, if you can afford where like they make that prediction and you take it and you're like you'll still be okay because you block the spin, like then you do that. But you don't want to just like make a hard prediction and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get him here, then they just hit you and it's not good, you know. If you have like 2 to 3 spikes up and a toxic spike though, then yeah, it's probably worth to try to block it. But yeah, I think this team's gonna be good again. If you find your right opportunity just to get up on agility, like we looked at the Calps, like with a spike up or something or chip, like yeah, you're gonna kill everything
Yeah,
with BBR.
like Braviary goes in.
Yeah, if you hit your hurricanes. But hopefully you do. But I think that's it, man. Anything else that kind of concerns you, or are you good here?
I don't think so. I'm ready to roll.
When are you playing this, by the way?
So we haven't exactly set up yet, but we're probably around Friday, Saturday-ish.
Okay, yeah, I know we're kind of doing this a week.
Depending when I get off work, so.
Yeah, we're doing this a week before, but all right, sounds good. Your thing will probably be up right after you do your battle, then after I watch it. So, but
Yeah.
sounds good. Thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Like I said, I tell everyone else too. If I get through everyone, I'll probably just go through everyone again if you want to do it again or whatever.
Oh,
so,
sure.
yeah. But
Thank you.
all right, cool. Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys time for watching, and we'll go into the replay. Peace. All right, guys, we're here for Orange's battle now. It's actually been about a week since we've built, so I had to kind of refresh my memory a little bit about what the game plan was. But simply, again, lead Fortress, get the Toxic Spike up, and then pretty much go from there. Spectre / Braviary seems like they're pretty good at pretty good chance to win the end game here. So this team, he actually didn't bring that Sand Slash, so yeah, he doesn't have any removal. He does not have a grounded poison. So Toxic Spike does seem pretty good here. And again, I think the Zangoose is the only Terra Captain, but we don't know the type yet. So he leads Fortress, Lady Mew, which shows to be probably like a utility Mew, as of course there's a Will-O-Wisp. We're Mental Orb, so we don't care if it's a lead taunt. We get out the Toxic Spike. Job well done, Fortress. That's pretty much all you need for, buddy. So now he switches into, he goes hard into Samurott. So he went hard into Samurott probably because, you know, he should Will-O-Wisp and we're special, so he figured that probably Samurott isn't really under much threat from this thing. But I don't agree with this play. I think always turn 2. We have Volt Switch, man. You just slow Volt Switch because, again, Fortress's job was pretty much just to get up the Toxic Spike, and if you slow Volt Switch, you get the momentum, right? And you're gonna see what move he goes for a second on the second turn. And as you see, he goes for a Reflect here. So if he would have slow Volt Switched here, you just bring in Spectre, man, and then you don't know the thing's item. It could be Sash, it could be the Ghost Berry, but you simply just taunt and you see what he wants to do to you. And if he switches, something is going to get poisoned. So you're okay if he switches too. This, I think Mew does reveal to be later like no attacks. So if he would have taunted it and he would have stayed in, he would have just struggled. So I think you for sure just slow Volt Switch there and you get in your Spectre and you click taunt, man. And then again, if they stay in, they have to switch into something that poison. If they switch, okay, it's not the end of the world. You still just, you get something poisoned and then that thing is taunted too for what it's worth. The only thing that you would really be scared of by going Spectre here and taunting is maybe like him hitting you with a big hit like Poltergeist or something. But again, he's already shown Will-O-Wisp and Reflect at this point. It's it wouldn't really make sense to have Poltergeist. If it would be an attack, it'd probably either be U-turn or just knockoff, because this is clearly a utility Mew as a lead. So I don't really know the item. It's probably maybe Focus, actually. I'm not too sure. But so we don't do that. We preserve the Fortress and we go into Samurott to surf it on the Will-O-Wisp, which is fine. And then I believe we just stay in again to surf, and it shows double screens. So it's probably actually going to be Light Clay if I had to guess now. I'm not too sure. And then he just reveals his whole set. So yeah, he's taunt fodder. I don't really understand this Iron Hand switch either. I don't know what he was predicting exactly, but I mean, he showed to his opponent that we're not booster now, which kind of, you know, it's a little information that his opponent can go off of. I don't really know what he was expecting though. I don't really get this switch at all. He light screened and we went to Iron Hands. Yeah, I don't know, because now he gets Will-O-Wisp, so we're gonna have to switch again. So I don't really know what the reasoning for that play was, to be honest. If he's trying to make an aggressive switch, he can just go to Spectre and he'll probably through light screen. He'll probably still kill with a Shadow Ball here. So I don't really know what this play is. I'll have to kind of ask him after. I'm not really too sure. I think really you could probably just stay in and click Surf again with Samurott. But now we go Spectre, which is not ideal because now we're catching a Will-O-Wisp. We don't get that free, that safe switch into Spectre like we would have turn 2 if we slow Volt switched. So now we're going to be taking Chip, which is unfortunate. Or like on the turn before when we went Iron Hands, the Samurott was burned, so Mew's not going to click Will-O-Wisp again in front of the Samurott. So that turn we probably could have went Spectre too, which was the turn I believe that they spiked. So, but we go Spectre now, and we get burned, which is unfortunate, and we're not left over, so we will be taking residual. Okay, and then we Nasty Plot. Again, I don't agree with Nasty Plot here. I think you just attack Mitt. You just attack because, one, you either kill the Mew, or two, something is coming in and taking the Shadow Ball. And if it's not Boots, this Mamoswine does look to be Boots, they're going to get poisoned. So you don't really lose much. And then if there's Boots like this thing is, like, you get information anyways. So you do not lose anything from just clicking Shadow Ball here. When you do something like this, where you go for a Nasty Plot and they do switch into something like this, now you're probably going to be forced out and you get literally nothing from that turn. So just take your kill, or just take your damage, take your information, and just Shadow Ball. There's no reason to set up here. And then you show to him too that you're Nasty Plot now. So, but yeah, we should switch here as we do, and we just go into Fortress, which is fine. It's a good switch. And their Mamoswine actually shows to be Trailblaze, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, so we're burned, so the whole, slow volt switching on turn 2, like, it doesn't matter if Fortress took another hit or something. Like, we're burned, so we're not going to be doing much anyway. Really, the only use of Fortress in this game would probably just be to spin, but we get the Mamoswine pretty low, and then we go into Samurott here because it's a +1. So I think this is probably our only, if Samurott survives Earthquake, this is probably our best play. I don't really know what else we could have done here. Yeah, this is probably our best play. So I agree with this play as long as we live. Okay, we do. And then Surf will pick it off. So definitely the game is so far in their opponent's favor, I think. But the Toxic Spike is going to do wonders. And again, we still have that big Braviary. And Spectre is still semi-healthy too. So it's not the end of the world. I still think this is for sure winnable though. So now they go big Zangoose. We have to stay in here, which is correct. Good job, to prevent any sort of Swords Dancing or Agility, I suppose. So this thing only has one more hit now, which is nice. So this is an interesting play here. So this is the Terra Captain too. We don't know the Terra type, but it's risky. I get it. It's very risky. But what you could do is you could go into something like Iron Hands here and then pivot into Spectre, because they're more than likely going to click the normal move. If they would hard predict Spectre, they would have to click a Ghost move in front of Hands, which is kind of hard for them, because if we don't switch, then we just kind of kill their Zangoose, and we only take a little bit, probably like maybe 40% or something on, probably not even, because we're like max defensive, I think, on Hands, so we wouldn't take that much. So we could make a play here to try to catch the switch, but I believe he just stays in and sacks a Chomp for the Zangoose. Chomp wasn't really too useful, to be honest, because it's slower than Keldeo, it's slower than Moon, and Save Life beats it probably 1v1 as well. So honestly, sacking Chomp isn't the worst either. Maybe what he could have done is gone Spectre and then pivot to Chomp. Like if we wanted to sack Chomp anyways, by going Spectre, they don't go for a normal move. Obviously, they're going to go for their Ghost or Dark move. And maybe Garchomp lives that because he was only +2 speed. He wasn't, boosted attack. So that was probably a play that I would have done if he wanted to sack Garchomp in the end. You just go into, or even go Braviary so you don't have to take a spike or something, and then you pivot to Garchomp. So they don't go for they would go for a normal move versus Braviary. You'd have to go Spectre then pivot Garchomp. So you would be taking one layer of spike, but your Garchomp would probably live, and so you would have an extra sack. So that's something to consider. I don't think it's a big deal, but that's something you could have done. So now we go Spectre because it does have a good matchup pretty much versus the rest of the team. They bring in Sableye, so we just Draining Kiss, which is fine. It's a good play, I agree. And they go for Poltergeist, and they actually, dang, they one-shot us. So I don't really fall orange for this play. I don't really expect the Poltergeist. I didn't expect it, to be honest, when I was watching this. So this is fine. I literally still think this is winnable with these two guys, so it's not the end of the world. It is what it is. Now we can just go Braviary, and we can set up our Agility if he wants to, or he can just kill. Okay, so he does set up the Agility. So yeah, the only thing about setting up Agility is this thing can easily have Encore, and if it does have Encore, then then we basically we show our Agility and we're stuck, so we can't do anything. I arguably would have probably attacked first with Hurricane, because then you can agility on whatever comes in. Like you can agility on a Keldeo because we're Terra Fairy, so we should live a hit from full. We can obviously just set up on this thing too. And then Roaring Moon, we're Terra Fairy, man, so unless it's like Banded Ironhead or something, we probably live versus that too. So the safer play is probably to just kill the Sableye so we can't get Encore locked the following turn, and then agility versus one of the 3 remaining Pokemon. But that's fine. So we go for, ooh, they actually show Custap Berry. Yeah, so now we're at 45, which sucks. So after this click, so we agility, they light screen, right? So Custap Berry is something that is definitely getting a lot popular in this generation, especially in like team tours and stuff. So we're just Hurricane, Psychic, Agility, Roost. So my thing is in this situation, and you can say this is hindsight, but I probably would have done the same thing he did in this game and just Hurricane. But after reviewing the game and like thinking of this click right here, you can scout for Custap Berry by simply clicking Roost. Just because if they're like Thunder Wave or some sort of like prankster thing that annoys you anyway, it's gonna go before you this turn regardless. So you might as well just Roost and see what they want to do, because if it's Custap Berry like it is, you'll be back up to full and then you're fast on the following turn. Or if they just hit you with a Nightshade or whatever they want to hit you with, you Roost, and you can Roost twice. Because they'll just die to poison, or again you can Roost to see what they want to do, and then you're faster if they're not Custap Berry, or if they are Custap Berry you're faster the following turn anyway. So it's just for scouting, because again if they're Prankster then Thunderwave or something to annoy you, it's going to go before you anyway, so you might as well just Roost this turn and you just scout for the Custap Berry. But I understand in the moment you're probably not thinking of all that stuff, so just attacking with Hurricane is what it is. It's fine. We do hit and we do kill the Sableye. So this Braviary is looking pretty good here, man. It's going to kill the Mew. It should kill this even though Light Screen's up. Like, we're Life Orb Sheer Force, man. So this is going to do a lot of damage. And then Roaring Moon, it could take one, but we still have our full health Iron Hands too for that guy. So unfortunately, he misses the Hurricane, and that's going to do us in. I can check the calc real quick, but I'm pretty sure even through a Light Screen, that should die. So we were modest. And we were Sheer Force Life Orb versus Keldeo. And as you can see, even through Light Screen, yes, Hurricane does always kill. Even if he has a little bit of bulk, it should be in our favor to kill. So, had that hit and this dies, Braviary can hit the Moon with a Hurricane, or even if it doesn't hit, we have a full HP Hands versus Moon, which can Drain Punch it, and we're defensive too. So, yeah, Orange would have certainly won this game, man, if that Hurricane hit. Even after all those kind of plays that weren't necessarily the best plays, we still would have won that game. So it just sucks missing Hurricane, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, because this Moon is booster attack, I believe, booster attack, it is going to be able to take us out with an Outrage. So I might have been a roll. I'm not really too sure. I guess I can check. We were what, 228 defense, Impish. I probably wasn't a roll. Like, booster attack is pretty strong. 228 Impish versus a Roaring Moon. Let's see. Outrage. Booster attack. Adamant. Oh, wow. Dang. And you got pretty much a max roll 50 too. That sucks. How much does Drain Punch do? Does it just kill? How much attack did we have? 116. So it didn't kill, but I mean, it would have been a after poison. Actually, he does die. Yeah, Drain Punch. So it could either just one shot or he'll die after poison, and then I think Hands definitely beats the Mew. He doesn't have any attack. So, dang, a missed Hurricane into a pretty much max roll booster attack Outrage to kill Hands. That's tough, man. That's just one of those games where I think he didn't play he didn't make every play correctly, but he's played well enough to have his win condition at the end pretty much in winning position if it just hits the attacks. And he had Iron Hands alive too, which would have won this game had he even got max rolled. So that was honestly pretty unlucky for Orange, not gonna lie. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. The first couple of first like 10 turns or so were definitely like a little bit weird on how he positioned around this Mew, but he still played well enough to win this game if, you know, all the hacks didn't happen. So it is what it is. But again, thank you, Orange, for coming on. I'm going to go through everyone that signed up, and then hopefully we'll get Orange back on, and he'll get a cleaner game on the second go around. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys want to be part of this series, all you got to do is join the Discord down below and sign up in the channel Team Building with Zooch, and I'll get you guys signed up. And hopefully, again, I'm trying to do 2 to 3 a week, so hopefully I can get through these pretty quickly. But until then, again, oh, actually, one more little announcement too. I am doing a random battles tournament in my server, and the first and second place people do get prizes. This video is going up Wednesday, and the signups close Thursday, guys. So if you guys want to sign up for that random battles tour, just join the Discord. It'll be in there as well. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.